In this video for OpenBridge Designer, we are going to show you how to customize the cross frames. So we already have a bridge, a deck, steel-eye girders. We're going to place cross frames, but then let's check of these cross frames into the libraries part, how you create a new one, a custom one. So I will go utilities, libraries, right, cross frames. And then we provide standard cross frames into the software, as you can see, right? So one way to do it, let's see, I'm going to create a X cross frame like that, or maybe a B frame, for example, right? And that B frame, I'm just going to modify it. So I don't want to lose this standard, so I can go right click, copy, and then rename it. Let's call it B frame test 1 and start the modification process, right? So as we have a top strut and bottom strut and two diagonals. This section could also be rotated so you can see how it's being laid out, right? So let's concentrate here in this type of view on the left connection here. So let's go here and say the configuration is going to be showing up station maybe, right? Or looking at this. So let's check which one is what. So for example, let's try the vertical offset. It's 10. Nothing changes until I update the drawing. Okay. So we can see what information has been changed. So I'm dealing with this section, right? So again, it's just then a matter of changing the dimensions that we need to adjust for the location on the vertical offset, the horizontal offsets, right? What section I'm using. So if you take a look at the profile of this section here, right, as is being attached to the template here. So this is the section that I'm using. So I can access the library, maybe change to one section, update the drawing, and that's maybe a smaller section, and also change as well on that same one the rotation. So how it's going to be connected to the connection plates, for example. Can do this 90 degrees, and you can see that now it has completely changed the way it's attached to that connection plate. See? So we can just play with all these elements, and the software is pretty visual, so you can see what's really happening at that part of the connections too. So that will be for the top strut. You can do the same with the bottoms, and the diagonals is actually the same configuration. Okay, so another topic here that you can take a look is also the centerline reference. So all these dimensions that we're entering here are based on the bottom of the angle, for example, here on the left diagonal are along the center, right? So I can just change it to another one, right, top, and then of course the dimensions will get realigned, right? So it's just up to you how you want to coordinate all of that. Now the difference too is that now, as you can know how to define these dimensions, right, and place the angles that you want. What are these elements? Well, these elements are the connection plates, right? And we recognize, for example, the top left. Again, so to easily see, this could be the top left, but if I rotate it, maybe I will look at different. So I can just also change, for example, a cross number, the horizontal offset, update the drawing, and see that, oh, the top plate moves. So then this is the one that I'm changing, for example, right? So you can just modify, follow that. If I have a template in the center, so this will be the center plate, right? And then you take a look at it. It's a vertical offset of 1.9. So if I do, for example, 6, right, this template will move. So then I have to adjust the diagonals for that template that I just changed. Now, what is these templates? These connection templates or plates here. See, look, bottom left, bottom right, center, top left, or right. So where do I define all of this? So if I'm going to use the standard ones that I provide, right, because this only locates the dimensions of it, but not the actual properties of that connection plate, right? So what I can do first, maybe, is if I cancel out here, go to the connections part of it. And on the connections, remember the names? Bottom right, bottom left, center. So these are the ones that controls that dimensions with the thickness, right, and the material type. Now, but then how do I get this material type? Well, if you go to the library one more time, these are the material types here, in which in steel you can define that properties. That will transfer when you design this your bridge in LEAP steel. So one more time, very simple. Just get the dimensions of the custom frame that you want and start modifying it, you know, until you just can change it. Here, for example, look, I got a connection plate that shouldn't be there. In another one, I update, right, and then it's going to be at the center, or basically maybe no connection plate at all, and then need to adjust the dimensions. So you can just create, adjust, or modify the templates that you need depending on the crossframes that you do. As you're being safe, then it will be a matter of use the cross-frame commands or icons here when you deal with your steel bridge to place your cross-frames. And that will conclude how to create custom conf frames. Thank you.